Well, hello. Margaret Ann Golden Ching, broker, owner, realtor, Goshen Real Estate, 672 West 11th Street, Suite 364, Tracy, California, 95376. The office number is area code 209-831-9737. I'm here today to talk to first time home buyers. And this is a recording, so you can't comment or ask questions while I'm in the process of making this recording. But hit subscribe and like, and you can comment in the comment area below. And I'll get back with you for any questions. And this is general information for first time home buyers, okay? And I know that everybody situation is different. Your finances are different. Your income is different. Your jobs are different. Where you want to buy is different. And what type of home you want to buy is different. So anything that you have questions on, comment in the comment section below or call me. My phone number is 209-831-9737. That's the office. And my cell direct is area code 209-880-9711. You can text me. Okay, so first time home buyer, you are ready, willing, and now we have to find out if you're able. Those are the three most important components to getting your home. So, the first thing that you want to do when you're thinking about buying a house is you have to see how much you can qualify for. And when you contact me as your real estate broker, what I will do is put you in contact with a lender. I have several lenders that I work with that work with different types of loans. So once I find out what you're looking for and your personal situation, then I'll know what lender to direct you to. Or if you have your own lender that you already are comfortable with working with, that's fine. Just have them contact me so that we can be in coordination with what you are able to buy. And I'll work with you from beginning to end, helping you to get financing for your home, helping you locate your home, and taking you through the escrow process. And even sometimes I'll go with you when you go to escrow to sign your documents. If I'm available, I will go with you. So, buying your home for the first time, I know that it may be quite challenging if you've never owned a home before. A first time home buyer is someone who has never owned their home or who has not bought a home or refinanced a home within the past 3 years. And the reason for being deemed a first time home buyer is because you can qualify for programs that others may not qualify for that have recently bought a home. So, again, you can be someone that actually owns your home, but if you haven't bought that home within the past 3 years, or you haven't refinanced that home within the past 3 years, then you could still qualify for the first time homebuyer programs. And sometimes people want to look into first time homebuyer programs because maybe they don't have a very large down payment and like 20%, 30%, 40 or 50, are paying cash. Okay, so if they don't have a large down payment, then they can look into the first time home buyer programs because there are a lot of programs that's still available for first time home buyers through the government, through the state A lot of lenders, offer these programs to people, and you can get money for your down payment, your closing costs, and or both. So it just depends on what program you fall into the category to receive. So that's the first thing that we do is that we get you to a lender, and the lender is going to ask you, get a lot of information from you. So be ready to turn in those documents to the lender. When they contact you, they're going to ask you questions about your income, your finances. What kind of money do you have already saved up? What is your income that you have? Do you have income from someone else that can help you with making your purchase? So they're going to ask you about your job, how long you've been on your job, how long you've been in that field. You can have moved to a different company, but if you're still in the same field, then that helps a lot. So I don't do loans. What I do when you come to me is that I refer you to one of my lenders, and they will contact you, and then they will do a pre approval. A pre approval is that they get your income and your debt, and they pull your credit, and they will approve you based on that information alone. They'll let you know that you qualify to buy a house for maybe 300,000, 400, 5, 6. They'll let you know how much you are able to purchase a home for. And you need to know that because sometimes people want to go around and look at these beautiful homes, and that it may be a house that's $1 million, and they say, well, I want to buy that house. Well, you have to be able to qualify to buy that house. So if you're not a cash buyer, if you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in a bank or some other type of savings, and you can't pull that money out to buy that property for cash, then you need a loan to buy that, and that's what's called a mortgage loan. So, along with the loan, the lender is going to qualify you. They're going to see if you qualify for any first time home buyer programs, and what interest rate that you're going to be able to get, how much you can qualify for, if you're able to get maybe a grant, that can cover your down payment or your closing costs or both. If you're able to get a 203K loan, which will give you money to repair the house that you're looking to buy. So there are a lot of things involved in getting qualified, and that's what being approved is, getting qualified to buy your home. So the lender will take care of that. So make sure that when the lender contacts you, and they're going to email you exactly what documents you need to turn into them, get those documents into them ASAP, because you may turn in one or two things on the list, but they're not going to move forward with getting you approved until they have everything that's on that list. And these are lenders that have been doing this for years. They know what they're doing, they have experience. And what they're going to do is they're going to put your file on their desk, and it's going to sit there until you have turned in everything that they've asked you to turn in. So make sure, number one, that you turn in everything that the lender asks you to turn in so that they can get you approved for your loan. Once you are approved, then they're going to send you a pre-approval or approval letter. And that letter is very important because that's what we need in order to write an offer on a house. So once you get that letter, you forward that letter to me, or ask the lender to forward that letter to me. and the lender will send me that letter. And when I write an offer for a house that you want, then I submit that letter along with your offer. And this is very important because a seller is not going to want to look at your offer and accept your offer without knowing that you are approved to buy that house. Okay, so that's the next thing to do is get that approval letter and send that approval letter to me, or have the lender send that approval. Once I have that letter, then I will look for houses for you. I'm not going to look for houses for you if I don't have that approval letter, because we're going to be looking at houses that may be out of your price range. I may send you some list of houses to look at once a lender, excuse me, verbally tells me that you may qualify for a certain amount. Then I may start sending you list of houses for you to look at online. Excuse me, but I won't take you out physically to look at a house until I have that approval letter. So once you are approved, then that's where the work begins. And that's, like I said, the first step and the most important step. So being approved is like saying, this is a check. You have a check from this lender uh, allowing you to buy a house for this amount. So I'm going to say, in general, $500,000. I'm just going to use that figure. I know everybody may not qualify for a $500,000 home, or they may qualify for more than a $500,000 home. But I'm just using that figure in general. So say that we have the approval letter from the lender saying that you qualify for a $500,000 home, and it's also going to show that if you're going FHA or VA or conventional financing, that's also going to be in the letter. And we need to know all of that when we're writing the offer, because however you are approved determines how the offer will be written up, which I will do. I'll write the offer for you. So once we have that letter, then we'll go out and look at houses in an area that you choose to look at in your price range. So that's again why we have to know how much you qualify for, because it won't make sense for me to take you to look at a house in an area where the homes cost $2 or $3 million and you qualify for $500,000. So I'm going to look up houses for you on the MLS, that's the multiple listing service. And I have access to homes all throughout the United States, even though I'm a California licensed real estate broker, and I've been licensed since 1989, so I have quite a bit of experience, and I do know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm talking about. But even though I'm licensed for California, I can always refer you to an agent in another state if you so choose that you want to buy a house in another state. Just let me know, and I will refer you to a good agent in the state and city that you want to buy. So we're going to go out and we're going to go shopping for your house. So say you've told me that you want 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, a 2-car garage, a large front and backyard. You want a fireplace. So you want a dining room, you want a family room, you want a pool. So I'm going to find out exactly what is imperative for you to have and what is something that you just want to have. It doesn't have to necessarily be included. So we're going to go out and we're going to go shopping and looking at different houses. And then once you see the house that you like, then we need to make an offer on it right away, because these houses don't stay on the market very long nowadays. And you may have a lot of people that are going to write an offer on that house. So as soon as you see something that you like, we want to write that offer right away. So I'll write the offer up for you, what you're requesting. Um, then once we write the offer, You may want the seller to give you a credit for something, then we would include that in the offer. Anything that you want the seller to do is what we would offer. Okay, I'll submit the offer to the seller's agent. I cannot contact that seller, okay? That's unethical and against the law. I cannot contact that seller directly and ask them, are you willing to accept $500,000 for this 525,000 house? I can't do that. And I can't even ask an agent if their seller is willing to accept less than what is listed for. So we're going to write that offer, and then I'm going to submit that offer. And along with submitting the offer, the other agent is more than likely, because this is common, they're more than likely going to want to see that approval letter. They're going to want to see proof of funds for your deposit. And that's basically, what we're going to have to submit when we submit an offer. Okay, so once I submit the offer, then the listing agent of that property will go over that offer with the seller, and the seller will decide, do they want to just accept your offer the way that it's written? They don't want to make any changes to it at all, so they just accept it. Or do they want to what we call counter offer? So a counter offer comes into play that say the seller is willing to accept your offer, but they want to make some changes. So they can't just make changes to what you are offering. They have to counter offer what they are willing to accept. And then that agent will send that to me. I will give that to you and go over it to see if you're willing to accept that counter offer, or if you just reject the counter offer. Or they can completely reject the offer. So that means that maybe you're not even in the ballpark, or they don't want to accept the type of financing that you are qualified for. It can be a number of reasons, or they may have multiple offers. And that's been happening a whole lot recently in California. It's not happening as much right now, but it still does happen. So if the seller accepts your offer, yay, okay, you have been approved, you have an accepted offer, and now we're going to open escrow. Escrow is an escrow and title company, and they are a third party that handles all of the paperwork for the transaction until it closes escrow. So they're going to get information from you, they're going to get information from me, they're going to get information from the seller, from the seller's agent. They're going to pull a preliminary title report to make sure that the title is clear. And the title being clear means that there's no outstanding liens or anything on the property that could prevent the property from transferring ownership from the seller to you. And they verify that this seller is the person who actually owns that property, that their name is on title. They check to see if anybody else's name is on title. Okay, so these are things that escrow does, and escrow normally takes from 30 to 45 days, excuse me, depending on what is involved, if there are any issues that come up that have to be straightened out. The escrow officer will keep in constant contact with me and the listing agent, letting us know what's going on with the property, with the seller, or with you, the buyer, so that all those things can be straightened out during the escrow property. They send to the lender that has the current loan on the property, letting them know that the property is being sold, and they're going to order a demand. Okay, a demand means that they are going to find out exactly how much has to be paid to the lender in order for the property to close escrow. So that's what escrow does. You're also going to decide how you want to hold title for your property. If you are an unmarried person, that's somebody that's been married before, but they're not married now. Or if you're single, that's someone that has never been married. If you're divorced, if you're married, if you have a partner. So, escrow will find out from you how you want to hold title, and that's how the house will go into those names in that way. So those are things that the escrow does, and along with that, once everything is settled, you may want inspections. I highly recommend when you're buying a house, get a home inspection, a roof inspection, a termite inspection. You want to get all of those inspections because you want to know what's going on with that house before you get that house in your name. And then you may find out that it may have $30,000 in termite damage, and you're stuck with that problem. So when you're getting ready to buy a house, I'm going to advise you, get your inspections. Again, that's your home inspection, which is also a property inspection. You want to get a termite inspection, and you want to get a roof inspection. And you can go further and get plumbing inspections. If there's a pool, you want to have the pool inspected. Electrical issues, if you think that there's some type of electrical problems, you want to get those inspections. It's much better, and I know that it is going to cost you several $100s because these are things that you have to pay for yourself out of pocket. These are not things that's paid for by the seller. You have to pay for the appraisal out of pocket. So once the lender has reached a certain point where they're ready to order the appraisal, then the appraiser will go out to the property, and they will go through the property and look for certain things, and compare that property with other properties in the area, and they will appraise it. And if the appraisal comes in at the price that you want to buy it for, that the lender is willing to give the loan on, then that's good. Sometimes an appraiser may come in under. So, say for instance, you're offering to buy the house for $500,000, and the appraisal comes in that the value is $480,000. So, at that point, then you can decide, do I want to pay this extra $20,000 to get this house, or do I want to walk away? So that would be your choice at that time once the appraisal comes in. And sometimes the appraisal may come in a little over what you're offering to buy. And that's always good for the house to be worth more than what you're buying it for. So we have to wait for the appraisal to come in, and then we go from there. Once we have the appraisal and we have the final loan approval from your lender, then we remove all the contingencies. And the reason why contingencies are in place is for you, the buyer's protection. That protects you so that if the appraisal doesn't come in, you can walk away and not lose your earnest money deposit or anything else that's going on. If you have an inspection done and there's work that needs to be done, and you want that work to be done by the seller, or you want them to credit you money to have the work done, if they're not willing to do that, then you can walk away and get your deposit back. So there are ways that I would protect you so that you can get your deposit back if anything happens, during the transaction. There are some ways that you can lose your deposit during the transaction. Say that all contingencies have been removed, and you just for some reason change your mind and decide that you don't want to buy that property anymore and you want to walk away, you can possibly you lose your deposit. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are really ready to buy that house when we write that offer. Okay, so everything is done. The appraisal's done. Escrow is getting ready to close. So when escrow is getting ready to close, the escrow officer is going to have schedule a date for the seller to go in and sign the documents that they need to sign. And they're going to schedule the time for the buyer to go in to sign the documents that the buyer needs to sign and bring in a cashier's check for any money that you need to bring in at that time. Okay, so once all of that is taken care of, you sign your documents at the escrow company, or they have people that can notaries that can come out to, maybe you're at work and you can't get to the escrow office, then they will have the notary come meet you and sign the documents. But there is going to be a whole lot of documents, so plan on spending at least an hour going over the documents and signing them. Don't just sign everything, and take for granted that everything is right. Read your documents carefully before signing them. The most important document there for you to sign is called the promissory note. The promissory note will state how much your mortgage will be, how much you're going to have to pay if you have a penalty, if you pay it off early, if it can be assumed. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to go through, a lot of documents. So make sure that you're somewhere where you can sit down and quietly read those documents with the notary and sign those. And once you've signed, then the escrow company will send all the documents to the lender for the lender to approve everything that's been signed. And then the lender will pay off whoever needs to be paid off. So there's people that have to be paid off when it closes escrow. The former lender has to be paid off. Commissions have to be paid. If there's anything that's billed into escrow, that has to be paid. So all of those things will be taken care of in escrow, and then you say what we say, have closed escrow. Congratulations, you are a new homeowner. Okay, so any questions at all that you have, I hope that this video has helped. But if you have questions, make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment in the sections below. Call me or text me. My office line is 209-831-9737. My cell direct is 209-880-9711. And again, I'm Margaret Ann Golden Ching. I'm the broker, owner, realtor of Goshen Real Estate, 672 West 11th Street, Suite 364, Tracy, California, 95376. Thank you and God bless you. Have a blessed day.